Over the years, today's video topic, one of the most requested, today we're finally going to do it.
Rix Top Six, party time, excellent!
Rix Top 6, party time, excellent!
Today will be Rix Top 6 tips, tricks, and advice if you're visiting and you're big and tall, or plus size. We're going to head into Universal Studios right now, but today's video will cover both studios and islands of adventure. Now here's the first bit of information I need to give you. Universal standard warning for people who may have an issue with some rides, especially like the more thrilling rides. They say if your waist is 40 inches or bigger, you might have an issue being accommodated. That doesn't automatically mean you're going to be denied. They just, it's kind of a little warning to put you on guard for those types of rides. With that in mind, the first tip I want to offer, kind of your most basic tip, use the test seats they have available before the entry of each ride. All the rides that you may have issue fitting in, they will have a test seat out front. Some of them may have more than one test seat, one out front and then one a little deeper into the queue. But if you have a waist over 40 inches and you think you might have an issue fitting on some rides, please try the test seat. There is green and red indicators. Once the light on the test seat turns green, you know you're good. But you don't want to get all the way to the actual ride without trying one of these test seats. Now, it is not necessary for every attraction to have a test seat. For example, Transformers does not. Each row of this ride vehicle is able to seat 4 people, and it's just one lap bar, which at worst would come down like 90 degrees. And therefore, a larger person, if they had to, they could take up 2 or 3 seats if they wanted to, just to have room. So a test seat not necessary for Transformers and some other rides like that throughout the park. So it is mainly the big thrill rides that are going to be a challenge for the big and tall, the plus size. That's why those rides will have the test seats. Now here's the thing, the test seats seem to be less forgiving than the actual seats, which leads me into my next tip or a bit of advice I have for you. Some of the thrill rides will have modified seats for larger people. Not all of them, but some of them will. So what you need to do when you start to enter the queue, ask the ride attendant if it has modified seats. And then when you get all the way to the ride attendant who's about to seat you, ask them for a modified seat if they have it. Like I said, not every thrill ride will have the modified seats, but I do know the Hulk does and Gringotts. So best bet is just to ask the ride attendant about modified seats. I know Gringotts, the back row, modified seats, and for the Incredible Hulk roller coaster, there's a few different rows of seats that are available as modified for bigger people. So just make sure you ask the ride attendants about that. Here's another tip or piece of advice if you're visiting Universal and you're big and tall, plus size. Let's take a walk and let me explain a Facebook group you may be interested in. Very recently, as I was walking around the park, I ran into one of you viewers. This viewer, in order to prepare for their Universal trip, lost over 100 pounds. This person really wanted to go on Hagrid's, knew they had to lose some weight, and they did it. Congratulations to that viewer, so proud of you. But during my conversation with this individual, they wanted me to mention a Facebook group. It's called Universally Fit Health Community. This Facebook group, in case you may be on your own road to weight loss, it's a great place to share your stories and your journey. It's a very inspirational and motivational group. I'll leave a link to it. Go check it out. And by the way, guys, to be honest, there are more than 6 items on today's list. When you add up all the tips, all the tricks, all the advice, and maybe some little factoids, we're gonna be well over 6 in this list, guys. And here's another little tip or piece of advice. Say you are too big to go on a ride. For example, Gringotts. That doesn't stop you from enjoying the queue. You can at least walk through the queue and enjoy those. Especially, I would not want you to miss out on the queue for Escape from Gringotts or Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. Those Harry Potter queues are amazing. Don't miss out just because you can't fit on the actual ride. Here's another tip, or actually this is more of a warning. I ride every ride at Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. And when it comes to any of the rides here, Rip Ride Rockit I find to be the most uncomfortable when it comes to fitting in the ride with the lap bar. The lap bar restraint they use on Rip Ride Rockit, it's very wide and it really does not rest on your lap. It more of comes across your belly, so it really gives a lot of pressure on your stomach. And for that reason, I find it to be the most uncomfortable ride at Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure. Another thing about Rip Ride Rockit for the big and tall, especially the tall, this is one of the rides that has a height restriction as far as you can't be too tall. 6'7" or taller, you will not be able to ride Rip Ride Rockit. Here's another little tip. I don't know what number we're on. We're being kind of casual today, but a tip would be to empty your pockets. A lot of these rides have lap bars that hit right on your thighs or on your lap. So even if the ride doesn't require you to use a locker, don't have a lot of stuff in your pockets. Get every little inch or quarter inch you can with that lap bar coming down. Just a little piece of advice right there. Now let's walk around and let me give you a few more straggling pieces of advice or some tips or some tricks. One would be when it comes to Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, if you are tall, the motorbike side is best. It will be hard for you to fit your feet and your legs inside of that sidecar. I'm only like 6'2½", and I have a hard time getting my feet on the floor and like cramming my legs in that sidecar. So if you're tall, go for that motorbike side. One last piece of advice. If you come here and maybe you can't ride some of those rides, you can't fit, do not let it ruin your day. It's mainly the big thrill rides that are going to give you problems. There's so much more to do here than some of those thrill rides. And you know what, I'm gonna say for Islands of Adventure, the problem rides would be Hulk, Dr. Doom, Hagrid's, and the Velocicoaster. And then over here at Studios, the three big problem rides would be Rip Ride Rockit, the Mummy, and then Gringotts. Other than that, there's plenty of other stuff for you to do. If you can't fit on some of those rides, do not let it ruin your day. Go have some other fun. Okay guys, that's gonna do it for today. I hope this video helped out some of you. And as always, don't miss the magic, don't miss the fun. Thanks for watching Rix Flix. And now, it's time to relax.